Hi, I'm Rachel, the crafty chemist, and I wanted to share a book that I picked up actually at Michael's and Black Friday. It was not on special or anything like that. It is The Wondrous Workings of Science and Nature Coloring book. There's 40 pictures in there to draw. It's by Rachel Ingotovsky. I don't know. Ignatovsky, who also is the illustrator of Women in Science, which I have not seen. Although we have some posters in the hallway where I work, and I wonder if it's the same illustrator from those. I'm gonna check the hallway when I get there in just a little bit. But as soon as I saw this book, I was super excited. I did finish coloring the first page in the book, and it is from all of our planet and our planet. And I'm recording in a weirdly awkward situation, the light's streaming in my window. But I actually just decided to color the first page, and I may color these in order because it was really hard for me to decide what to color. I like how the jar for the polar bear and the jaguar turned out, and the armadillo down here. I actually really like my camel and squirrel. There's so many of the animals that are our favorite animals that are on this first page that it wasn't too hard to decide. The only jar I don't like how I colored was the one with the shark in it, but my son's first word was actually giraffe, and I have this like sort of silly goal to see a live armadillo someday, because sadly I only see ones that have been hit by cars around here. But it has a lot of really neat pages in it of different ecosystems. So, we have the rainforest here, and actually that jaguar is in the jar. We have an animal cell and the microscopes and the little Erlenmeyer flasks. As a chemist, this whole thing got me very excited. I love llamas and alpacas because I also spin wool and llama and alpaca, and I would love to visit the Andes someday, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun to color. This is going to be a great page with just animal life from all over the planet. Here's the ecosystem of the Arctic Circle, and here's our little polar bear from the first page. It has lots of animals that are labeled in here, and I think the narwhal is going to be fun. Then we have some quotes from different women scientists and photographers. So this is from a photography critic. The wilderness holds answers to questions man has not yet learned to ask. And so I think this will be a really fun, beautiful page to color. Here is the Atacama. I actually don't know this desert, but I'm going to look it up because, like, wow, cool. I actually have heard of vicuña because it's another pack animal, but then we have the algae and phytoplankton from the first page in the little jar. We have inside a bacterial cell, and there's some funny things going on with that, but again, microscopes and just things that are right up my alley. Congo rainforest ecosystem. We have a leopard again. But these are all animals that I've seen in the zoo, so that'll be fun too. Here we have the deep ocean, which I need to get better at coloring ocean stuff. We have our heart. A rotting log, which, awesome. That's just great. A desert ecosystem, which I pointed out to my kids. These are saguaro cactus, so it must be Sonoran Desert because that's where we lived, and that is, as far as I know, the only place where you can find saguaro cactus. But there's that armadillo again. I actually didn't know that armadillo lived in Arizona, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect or anything like that for the ecosystems. Here's another quote by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, who's a conservationist and an author. You can't conserve what you haven't got, which is very true. Here we have ecosystems of the Great Plains. A bunch of different cells and some scientists here that, well, here's a chemist. I just think that's fantastic, of course. The Great Barrier Reef. The layers of the earth. Awesome. I'm very excited to color that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the face on the lower mantle. Rachel Carlson, who's a marine biologist, conservationist, and author. A quote from her: "Those who dwell among the beauties and mysteries of the earth are never alone or weary of life." And that resonates with me so much. I love being outside. Here we have a swamp. The area where I live now used to be a swamp, but it's been drained. And honestly, this is the first page I flipped it open to, and I was like so ecstatic. I mean, there's beakers, and there's some DNA, and there's viruses and microscopes. And as I flipped through, there was another page that I was like super excited about too. Here's the moorlands of the British Isles, a place I would just love to visit. That would be awesome. We have a Jane Goodall quote: "Only when our clever brain and our human heart work together in harmony can we achieve our full potential." Here's the open ocean. Ecosystems of the Sahara Desert. Inside a plant cell. This is the second page that I ended up seeing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is entire chemistry. The safety goggles just crack me up. There's a lab coat. There's just so much fun on here. Bunsen burner, 24 well plate. This is all stuff that my students use. I think I'm going to have to scan this one so I can have just multiple copies of it. If I could get a PDF of this, that would be like the best. Ecosystems of a pond. I love the duck there. A redwood forest. Those are beautiful to visit. I've visited them a few times. Just love it there. River ecosystems, which another dream animal of mine is a moose. I've been to where moose live multiple times and never gotten a chance to see one. I've even gone like moose hunting and not seen one. It's almost become a joke at this point. Rosalind Franklin, well, they call her a molecular biologist, but she's responsible for taking the pictures that helped us decipher DNA. Science in everyday life cannot and should not be separated, which there's some great sciencey pictures in there. My lab goggles again. It's going to be so much fun to color. Ecosystems of the Siberian taiga. Oh man, I need to learn some pronunciations. Soil ecosystems. Stages of germination of seeds. Here is a quote by Vera Rubin, an astronomer. "You can change the world, for you are made of star stuff and you are connected to the universe." That's a very deep thought. Ecosystems of the rainforest. Microscopic ecosystems of a drop of water. And the big world we live in is smaller than you think. And the last page is things that we can do to protect our planet. This book was really just fantastic. There's some copyright information here. and I bought it at full price, which at Michael's was $14.99, and I think it's worth every penny of it. This is the cover of it. I can't wait to color it. I did color the page with Brutfuner square pencils. I actually bought these on the day after Thanksgiving sales on Amazon because I had been to Blick art store before I went to Michael's. Like I did a trip that day. I had never been into a Blick, and I really wanted the oily pencils, but they were just completely out of my price range. So I did buy the square set, which I know everybody's probably familiar with. I'm not really happy with the order of things. I just swatched it in the order that it's there, and I'm going to print a different swatch thing and probably change the order of the pencils. I may actually put them in number order because swatch them in like color groups and then put them in number order because I'm just having a hard time searching through the pencils. They really need to be sharpened before they're used, but this is my first set of oily pencils or oil-based pencils, and I actually really like them. They work very well in that paper. The paper on the book is pretty smooth. It doesn't have a lot of tooth, and this just lays on really nicely. So I know everybody's familiar with these pencils, and I am happy with my purchase. There were a couple when I was swatching them that I put frowny faces by because I didn't like how they felt, and then I just really wanted that color. I wish there were a few more colors, especially like of the browns. I have a hard time with mixing up browns, but you know, the range is what it is for, I think, what I don't even remember, it's 120 set, and I will probably use them pretty frequently. My only other set of colored pencils is a set of Prismacolors, so and it's the full set of Prismacolors, and I really like it. But this gives me a different sort of texture and variety of things to use, and I may blend the two pencils together. I just wanted to color this first page with one type of pencil just so I could see how it was. That's kind of how I messed up this underwater jar, because one of the first ones I colored, I think the first one I colored was the giraffe, and then I kind of went, I don't know, I went around. But the background I did here with some chalk pastels, and then I colored over the top of it, and I wrote my little labels with Derwent micro pens. So otherwise it is entirely Brutfuner squares. I definitely will keep restocking this for myself so that I have these colors for a while. And I do have another set of ones coming from Sarah Renee Clark's video that I will make a little video of it then when I get it. I'll also be posting another video soon of my finished pages for the month of November and some other of the art supplies that I have bought, because even though I said I wasn't buying anything in November, I bought things in November. And it's December now, so I have started coloring some of my winter stuff, and I can't wait to show it. So bye.